Hello class. This function basically is a series of functions. The standard input-output that we have been using in this course has been the keyboard for input and the console for your output. However, there are other devices that are standard to the computer that you can read information from and send information to. One of these is a file on your hard drive. There are some commands that allows you to gain access to these files so that you can read information from those files and you can print information to those files. File open, which opens a file of your choice. File print, which allows you to print information as if you were printing on the console. File scan, which allows you to scan in data as if someone had typed in the information from the console. And lastly, to clean everything up, we have to close the file after we finish using it. This requires us to create a pointer to a structure known as a file structure. Once we have this file pointer, then we pass this file pointer to the other 4 functions that needs to operate on a file. In this example, I've created 2 variables, one variable to hold a simple message of 20 characters or less, and a float variable that could be used in calculations. And I have created 2 file pointers. I've decided to set the first file pointer to a file named datalog01 for reading, and set the second file pointer to datalog02 for writing. There are other options as well, but our 2 most basic uses is for reading and writing. This step here checks to see if opening the file was successful. If this is 0 or if this is 0, if any one of these are 0, then it will print an error message saying that it had trouble opening these 2 files on your hard drive. Otherwise, it will proceed through these 5 steps. The first thing I've asked the computer to do is to scan in a simple message from the file in the form of a string. We call these words. And then I ask to display that on your console. The second thing is that I want to put this information into the file, which basically will put the number 50 along with this message into the other file. And then once I finish processing the files, I should close them so that other programs can have access to them. Let's demonstrate this. Before I demonstrate, I would like to go to the C program and show you the 2 files that we're going to be working with. The first file says goodbye. I will change that to hello and save it. This is the file that we're going to read from. Here, I'm going to erase this and save it. This is the file that we're going to write to. Now, I'm going to run the program, number 7, to demonstrate me reading from the first data file, printing it on the screen, and then writing to the second data file. You can see here that the message hello was printed on the screen, which was the which was the file that was the string that was in the data log text file. And you can see in the other text file, it printed the message the answer is 50, as we demonstrated earlier that we wanted to print this message inside the file. Of course, the advantage of using files is easy, as information can be stored for later use. In your project, you will be using files to save the results of your readings. This concludes this series of short programs that you will need to help you with your project. Of course, you will also still use some of the other important program structures to complete the project. Good luck, and thank you for listening.